Hello, this is my video related to installing the subwoofer in this install. This is a Powerbase PBUS62, installing it with the Jenson CAR813. The CAR813 installation is on this channel if you want to check that out first. So this unit is the Powerbase. It says 12-inch total driver surface area. And I think what that actually means is that there's probably two 6-inch woofers in there. Yeah, so here's the top of the unit. They're actually kind of a oval shaped subwoofer in there. Here's the side view, Powerbase. This is the PBUS62. And on the bottom, so this is where the controls are. Turn that up like this. That's where everything plugs in, right there. There's actually a boost. There's a 0 and a 180, and then there's a low frequency bypass, and then there's a boost button. There's also a remote boost switch. There's some other things that the kit comes with. It comes with, looks like a power harness. I think that's positive and negative. This is the RCA out from your radio into the subwoofer. And this is a controller switch that goes to this little boost controller that you can mount on your dash. And these are mounting brackets. And comes with some stickers. And of course, instructions. All right, so I just put, this is the passenger seat. Sorry for the dust and the dog here. And I slid it underneath there. And there's room. I checked to make sure it can move back and forth. Yes, sir. All right, so looking at this from the back, I moved the back seat all the way forward. And yeah, good time to vacuum, huh? So I'm gonna mount it right there. Probably without taking the seat out. Just put it right there. I'll put clips on this side and just mount it right on the back side. And because I am just mounting it underneath this seat, all the wiring can just come under here and just go underneath the side here under the seat. But then you got to decide where you want this remote. And you can actually install it in here, just kind of like mount it to the top. That doesn't look too bad in there. And you can go way in the back too, and there's still like a flat surface back there. So that's an option. So the power cord, they give you enough to go definitely all the way to the trunk. So one of these is looks like it's ground. One of these is, the yellow one is the power cable. It'll go from the unit, if you have it in the trunk, all the way to the front. And of course the blue wire is the remote startup to your unit. This probably won't need to go as far. But yeah, nice kit. All right, so I got all this out. Did not show you that part because I am gonna show you it on, I did show you on the radio install video. So you wanna see how to take this stuff out. And this is just sitting there just in case I need to take it out. But I need to find some wires and I need to pull a wire in from the battery. I'm not sure if I need to because it's really small gauge, but I'm gonna go ahead and just find it. It should be right in here, the little grommet that goes into the engine compartment, right it over there. And then I took this all the way out, which is the little cubby that's right here, because I'm gonna mount the little booster switch up on the top. So, and this thing comes apart, so I can actually screw it. So we're gonna show you that part too. And then as far as running the wire to this under the seat, how easy can it be? That's the seat right there. Yes, it is. Just right there. And there's a little piece of Velcro that's supposed to be holding this on, but yeah, it is. It is now. Easy peasy. So here's that compartment. I'm going to mount it right at the top. I'm going to screw a hole in the back. There's actually a screw on the side here, in addition to the 6 on the back, bottom. So here's the underside of the little base unit. So I'm gonna drill a hole in the back here, hopefully big enough for the cable. It's basically kind of like a network cable. And hopefully it is big enough, otherwise I'll just kind of waller it out. Come back to you. All right, 1/2-inch drill bit, but I did have to kind of oblong it a little bit to get it for this thing to fit through. All right, put that through. We're just gonna snap this in, screw this down. I'll come back. So that's mounted in there with the screws. So essentially, it's gonna be like this. This is gonna be totally hidden in there. I have a feeling once it's set, I'm not gonna change it anyways. So I'll put this back together and get it ready. Might as well keep this bundled up because I'm gonna need that twist tie anyways. It doesn't have far to go under the seat, so the rest of it's just gonna stay together like that. Okay, so I've got the actual unit pulled out, so I'm gonna plug in the RCA input cables into the back of this unit. It actually has 2 subwoofer outs. So I'm gonna plug both those in. So I just ran into a problem. These are the it's female, and they need to be the male to go into the back of the radio. So that's one little negative I think about this install. And I can't find the male to male adapters, but luckily I had a bunch of old cables, so I'm going to use one of those here. Otherwise I'd have to wait to order something. So I'm going to run just a short section of this kind of like the wire protector to go under the seat, just enough to go from here under the seat, and then all right, I got that ran over to there, kind of have it pushed out so there's enough like room to pull this unit in and out if you have to. It runs under the seat into this compartment right there. So this blue wire is kind of going to be our shortest wire. It's just going to go up into here, and we got to find the remote out at the back of this thing. Every car is going to be a little bit different, or every unit, and so it looks like right here it says remote turn on blue white. All right, so it wasn't easy to find. I just had to unplug the radio. This is the blue, and the white stripe is on the other side here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's a little hard to find. So I'm going to splice into that because there's no really good spot to do it. And I can do it on the other side over here. Yeah, maybe I'll do it on the other side. Ay, what a mess. So what are we looking at here? So here's the extra cord I had. It actually has a video portion too, unused here. And it goes to the subwoofer out. The red and white go to subwoofer out, which goes to the amp. These are the ones that they provided. So the ends should actually look like this. Then they would go right into the radio, but they don't. So there's plenty of room down here to store that stuff. And I've tucked the step wire on top, which is behind this plate here. I'm going to test it to see. I still don't have the power hooked up yet. I could do that temporarily. Alright, so I got the ground hooked up here, right by the shifter. And by the way, this one, it's a nice spot for a ground, but it's not actually grounded. It's pretty solid, but it's only connected to plastic, and there's no ground there. I got everything hooked up for a test. Went ahead and went to the settings here, turned on the subwoofer. I set the subwoofer frequency at 120, subwoofer level at 3. Loudness is off, and it sounds pretty good. Can't play anything here that's not copyrighted, but it's pretty good. It's on very low, and it's actually quite boomy. So I got to turn down quite a bit. All right, so I gotta tell you, I cheated a little bit. I tapped into the 12-volt power on the back of the radio. Ran it over to here. I'm gonna put the fuse in line right here. It's not really that big of a fuse. It's only it's 10 amp. And I just tested it. It seems to work pretty good. There's no cannibalization voltage. Cannibalization. I think that's actually a thing. Maybe it's vampire. Anyways, we're gonna get this button up. I'll show you how it works. It's got this little kind of like wire holder. Put that on. Put a couple zip ties for the. This is for the controller. Wouldn't fit in that cable. I'll just zip tie it together. Put this under the seat, and I'm gonna see if it even needs to be fastened down. It actually sits really nice right there. You can actually pull some of this back up. Don't need quite that much. Leave a little bit of slack, so in case you need to do some maintenance. Looks pretty good. The seat's all the way forward, and I had the bass just sitting right here, and it sounded really good. So, all right. So this is kind of the least pretty. I just got all this extra wire tucked in here, kind of like where I could. Zip tied it, put it together. I want to make sure that you're not getting in the way of this. This is the parking brake. You see that moving? So you don't want to interfere with that or have wires get cut by putting the parking brake on. So I think that's going to be good. We'll see what it looks like when it's installed, this compartment. All right, so I wrapped all this stuff up, got it all nice and put back. It's hidden under the seat. I didn't even bother mounting it. And so I made some adjustments. I set the subwoofer to 80 hertz and below. That sounds a lot better. Now, if you install it, this is a good song for testing that super low frequencies, because at the beginning of the song, it has a kind of your regular intro, and then there's just this very low frequency like Taurus pedal that comes in. And I can't really play it, but I'll see if I can get away with it. And it's almost inaudible. Having to take that section out because it's copyright. But anyways, Avril Lavigne, Skater Boy, and there's actually also had the Gorillaz, the Clint Eastwood by the Gorillaz. Super good for testing out the bass. So I hope you enjoyed this show. If you have any questions, leave them for me on there. Be sure to check out my install for this this Jenson, and it also shows how to take all these panels out. And be sure to like and subscribe. There's more coming. There's going to be also another. I'm going to post a rating on this radio and go over some of its features. Bye for now. I can blow you away.